Welcome back to Midnight Affair Tales. Thank you for joining us. I never thought my marriage would end like this. But then again, I never thought my wife would lie straight to my face while sneaking off with another man. It all started with a single notification. I was on the couch, mindlessly scrolling through my phone after a long workday. Lisa had told me she was going out for a girls' night with her co-workers. That was fine. She deserved a night out. I trusted her. But then I saw it. A $150 charge at Le Grand Bistro. That wasn't just any place. That was an expensive, romantic restaurant, the kind of place you take someone special. Not a girls' night bar. My gut clenched. Something felt off. I tried to ignore it, but then my phone buzzed again. It was from Mark, my best friend. Mark, bro. I think you need to see this. Attached was a photo. My heart slammed against my ribs as I opened it. There she was. Lisa. My wife. Sitting at a dimly lit table, laughing, her hand grazing the arm of a man I didn't recognize at first. But then it hit me, Jake. Her coworker. My fingers tightened around the phone as I zoomed in. They looked like a couple. She was smiling in a way she hadn't smiled with me in months. Her eyes were locked onto his, her body leaning in close. Jake, the office pretty boy, had his hand resting casually on her thigh. I felt sick. I quickly opened the Find My iPhone app. I had secretly set up tracking on Lisa's phone months ago when she started acting weird. The location? Le Grand Bistro. She lied. She fucking lied to me. My breath was heavy. My hands shook. My mind raced. What do I do now? I should have seen this coming. Looking back, the signs were always there. Lisa had been distant for weeks, no months. It started small. The late work nights, the sudden obsession with her phone, the excuses to avoid intimacy. Then it got worse. She started hiding her phone screen when I walked in. She would laugh at texts but never tell me what was funny. She changed her passwords. And the biggest red flag? She stopped saying I love you'd first. I had been a blind fool. I chalked it up to stress, to work, to anything but the truth. But the truth was staring me in the face now. Lisa was cheating on me. And not just with anyone. With Jake. I clenched my jaw as I remembered all the times she talked about him. Oh, Jake is so funny. Jake is such a great listener. Jake brought me coffee today. He's so thoughtful. I had laughed it off back then. Now, I wanted to break his face. I exhaled sharply, forcing myself to think straight. I needed proof. If I confronted Lisa now, she'd just lie again. I needed to be smart. I opened my laptop and searched for spy software. It took 5 minutes to install an app that would mirror Lisa's texts and GPS location straight to my phone. The moment she got home and connected to our Wi-Fi, I'd have everything. I closed my laptop, my hands gripping the edge of the desk. Lisa had no idea, but her little game was about to end. That night, Lisa came home late. It was nearly midnight when I heard her keys jingle at the front door. I stayed on the couch, pretending to watch TV, my heart hammering in my chest. She walked in, her makeup too perfect for just a girl's night. Her lips were still glossy, her dress a little too short, and the smell of men's cologne clung to her skin. Hey babe, she said casually, dropping her purse on the counter. I kept my face neutral. Hey, how was your night? She stretched, fake yawning. Ugh, so exhausting. We just had drinks and talked. Nothing crazy. I stared at her, my stomach twisting. Liar. Her phone buzzed in her bag. A message. I kept my expression relaxed as she grabbed it and turned away from me to check. That was mistake number 1. Long night? I asked, my voice steady. She nodded. Yeah. You know how it is with the girls. We lose track of time. Mistake number 2. I glanced at my phone under the table. The spy app had synced. I opened it and saw her messages in real time. Jake. Tonight was amazing. Can't wait to see you again, babe. Lisa, me too. I swear David suspects nothing. Oh. I gripped my phone so hard my knuckles turned white. That was mistake number 3. Lisa thought she was untouchable. She thought I was too stupid to catch her. She had no idea that her entire world was about to collapse. I sat there holding my phone, my pulse throbbing in my ears. Lisa was standing just a few feet away, tapping away on her screen, smiling at Jake's message. If she had turned around, she would have seen the rage in my eyes. But I didn't move. Not yet. She thought she was safe. She thought I was a fool. She had no idea what was coming. I forced a smile. Glad you had fun. She turned, slipping her phone into her purse. Yeah, it was nice to get out for a bit. I nodded, pretending to be distracted by the TV. You look tired. You should get some sleep. She stretched, walking toward the bedroom. Yeah, I'm exhausted. Night, babe. I didn't respond. She didn't notice. She didn't care. I sat there for another hour, gripping my phone, scrolling through their messages. Every text was another stab to the gut. Lisa, you make me feel alive. I miss you already. Jake, wish I could have taken you home tonight. Next time. Lisa, soon. Can't wait. Next time? Oh, there won't be a next time. I inhaled deeply, forcing myself to stay in control. Rage wouldn't help me. Exploding wouldn't help me. Destroying her the right way? That would be satisfying. Lisa had no idea that while she was sleeping peacefully in our bed, I was already planning her downfall. By morning, my plan was already in motion. Step 1. Secure myself. Before Lisa could take anything from me, I started protecting my assets. Moved my paycheck to a separate account under my name only. Took her name off our shared credit card. Removed her access to my savings. Transferred important documents, house deed, car title, to a secure folder at my office. By the time she woke up, she had no idea I was financially cutting her off. Step 2. Gather evidence. I needed everything. Screenshots, messages, timestamps. I called my lawyer. Hey David. What's up? I exhaled slowly. I need to file for divorce. There was a pause. What happened? I didn't hesitate. My wife screwing her coworker. Another pause. Then a sigh. All right. Let's make sure she doesn't get a single damn thing from you. I emailed him all the proof, texts, call logs, even the GPS tracking. I hired a private investigator to get physical proof, photos, videos, whatever I needed. I started working with HR to report Jake for workplace misconduct. Lisa thought she was playing a game. She had no idea she was about to lose everything. I needed one more thing before the final strike. I needed Lisa to think she was still in control. That night, I acted completely normal. I cooked dinner. I kissed her on the cheek. I asked about her day. She had no clue that I already knew everything. Work was good? I asked over dinner, watching her carefully. Lisa nodded, sipping her wine. Yeah, just the usual stress. I smiled. Liar. You should take a break, I suggested. Maybe we could do a weekend getaway. Just us. She hesitated for a split second. Oh, maybe. I'll have to check my schedule. Another lie. She wasn't checking her schedule. She was checking when she was free for Jake. I forced a grin. That's okay. We can figure something out. I watched her closely as she finished her meal, feeling nothing but disgust. She still thought she was winning. She still thought she was outsmarting me. She had no idea that her entire world was about to collapse. Lisa thought she was being smart. She thought she was sneaking around without a trace. She was dead wrong. After dinner, she showered, got into bed next to me, and texted Jake right under the covers. Lisa, I miss you already. Jake, I'll see you soon, babe. Can't wait to have you again. My fingers clenched into fists. She was in my bed. Next to me. Texting another man. But I didn't move. I didn't react. Because my trap wasn't ready yet. The next morning, while she was in the shower, I grabbed her phone. Thumbprint unlocked it instantly. I scrolled through their messages, taking hundreds of screenshots. And then I hit the jackpot. Lisa, I'll meet you at the Bellevue Hotel on Friday. Room's already booked. Jake, you're the best. Love our little secret. I nearly laughed. Little secret? Not for long. I sent the screenshots to my email and deleted the evidence from her phone. Then I set the date in my calendar. Friday night. The night everything would come crashing down. Friday came faster than I expected. Lisa was all smiles, acting like nothing was wrong. She kissed me on the cheek before leaving. Girls' night again? I asked casually. She grinned. Yeah. Don't wait up for me. Lying right to my face. I smiled back. Have fun. She had no idea I was already 5 steps ahead. As soon as she left, I grabbed my keys. Tonight wasn't just about catching her. It was about destroying her. I drove straight to the Bellevue Hotel. The private investigator was already there, waiting. She's got the room, he said, showing me photos of Lisa checking in. I nodded. Stay close. I want pictures, videos, everything. Then I made my way to the front desk. Hi, my name is David Carter, I said, sliding my ID across. I'd like to book the room next to 214. The receptionist smiled. Of course, sir. A few minutes later, I had the key in my hand. Lisa and Jake were in room 214. I was in room 216. Game on. I sat in the dark room listening through the thin hotel walls. Laughter. Low voices. Then the sound of kissing. My blood boiled, but I stayed calm. My phone buzzed. It was the PI. PI, they're in bed. Got all the pictures. That was all I needed. I texted Mark. Me, bring them in. Mark on it. 2 minutes later, I heard footsteps in the hallway. Lisa's parents. Her sister. And most importantly, Jake's wife. I stepped out of my room nodding at them. Ready? I whispered. Jake's wife's face was red with fury. Lisa's parents looked shocked, angry, disgusted. I lifted my fist and banged on room 214's door. Silence. Then Lisa's voice. Who is it? I grinned. Room service. There was a shuffle inside and the door cracked open. Lisa, wrapped in a robe, her hair a mess, looked up at me, and her face drained of color. Surprise, I said coldly. Before she could react, I stepped aside. Her mother and father stormed in. Her sister pulled out her phone, recording. And Jake? Jake was completely naked, scrambling to grab his clothes as his wife started screaming. Lisa covered her mouth in horror. David, I can explain? I held up my phone. Don't bother. I already have all the proof. Her father turned to her, his face twisted with anger. Lisa, how could you do this? Jake's wife threw a glass of water in his face, screaming, You cheating piece of shit. Lisa burst into tears. But I wasn't done yet. I pulled out the divorce papers and threw them on the bed. You'll be hearing from my lawyer, I said, my voice ice cold. And don't bother coming home. Your things will be on the curb by morning. Then I turned and walked out without looking back. I walked out of that hotel room without a single glance back. But Lisa? She was left standing in the wreckage. As I made my way to the parking lot, I could still hear the chaos inside. Jake's wife was screaming at him, calling him every name under the sun. Lisa's parents? They were disgusted. Her mother's voice cracked as she said, You ruined your marriage, Lisa. For this? I started my car, gripping the steering wheel tightly. Tonight wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. I had one more card to play. I pulled out my phone and texted Mark. Me, post everything. Mark, done. I smirked. While Lisa and Jake were busy scrambling to cover their mess, their entire affair was already spreading like wildfire. I had emailed the screenshots and videos to everyone at Lisa's and Jake's workplace. Lisa's boss? Got it. Jake's manager? Got it. Their entire department? Got it. Oh, and the best part? I posted the entire story on Reddit. The next morning, I woke up to pure chaos. Lisa's number had blown up my phone, 37 missed calls. Her texts. Full of desperate messages. Lisa, David, please, we need to talk. Lisa, it's not what you think. You're blowing this out of proportion. Lisa, people at work saw the emails. I'm going to lose my job. Please answer me. She was panicking. I smirked, sipping my coffee. She deserved every second of it. Then another text came through, from an unknown number. You ruined my life, you piece of shit. I laughed. Jake. I responded, should have kept your hands off another man's wife, buddy. A few minutes later, I got another message from Lisa's sister. Sophie, bro, it's bad. Lisa got called into HR this morning. They're investigating her and Jake for inappropriate conduct. I cracked my knuckles. Perfect. By noon, Lisa's world had completely collapsed. She was suspended from work pending an investigation. Jake was fired on the spot. Turns out he had a history of workplace affairs. Lisa's friends were ghosting her. No one wanted to be associated with a cheater. Her parents? Disowned her. She had nowhere to go. That's when she finally showed up, at my house. I heard the knock at the door, slow and hesitant. I already knew who it was. Opening it, I found Lisa standing there, makeup smeared, eyes red from crying. She looked like a wreck. David, she whispered, her voice breaking. Please. I have nowhere to go. I leaned against the doorframe, crossing my arms. Not my problem. Her lip trembled. Please. I made a mistake. I'll do anything, just don't throw me away like this. I let out a short laugh. You threw me away first, Lisa. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I love you. I was stupid. I held up a hand. Stop. Her mouth clamped shut. Lisa, you're not sorry. You're just sorry you got caught. She reached for my arm, but I stepped back. You're not coming in. Your stuff's outside. Her eyes darted to the driveway where all her belongings were stacked in boxes. She gasped. David, you can't just. I cut her off. I can't. And I did. She was silent. Then I delivered the final blow. By the way, I said casually, Jake's wife is filing for divorce. And since she makes more money than him, guess who's about to be broke? Lisa's face twisted in horror. I shrugged. Maybe you two can be miserable together. I slammed the door in her face. And just like that, Lisa was gone from my life. I didn't look out the window to watch Lisa leave. I didn't need to. I could hear her sobs fading as she slowly walked away, realizing she had nowhere to go. I could imagine her staring at her pile of belongings, wondering what the hell she was going to do next. But that wasn't my concern. Lisa had made her choice. And now, she had to live with it. A few hours later, my phone buzzed. Sophie, Lisa's sister. Sophie, dude? Lisa is crashing at a friend's house, but it's bad. She lost her job. Me good. Sophie, she's begging mom and dad to let her come home, but they won't even talk to her. Me also good. Sophie didn't reply for a while. Then, Sophie, I know she messed up, but she's really breaking down. Just thought you should know. I stared at the message. For a second, a split second, I almost felt bad. But then I remembered all the nights she lied to my face. The texts, the sneaking around, the way she laughed about me with Jake. No. Lisa deserved every second of this. I put my phone down and went back to my new life. Without her. The first few days after Lisa was gone? Freedom. No more worrying about what she was doing. No more waiting up for someone who didn't respect me. For the first time in a long time, I felt alive. I hit the gym. I went out with friends. I focused on my job. And the best part? Women noticed me again. At a bar one night, a blonde woman slid into the seat next to me, flashing a smile. Hey, she said. I saw you over here looking all broody and mysterious. Thought I'd say hi. I smirked. Is it working? She laughed. A little. Her name was Emily, and she was nothing like Lisa. She was fun, easygoing, and actually interested in me. We exchanged numbers. The next day, she texted me first. This was what it felt like to be wanted again. I was moving on. Lisa, however, she was drowning. A few weeks after she left, she showed up at my office. Uninvited. She looked terrible. Dark circles under her eyes, hair a mess, her once perfect makeup now barely covering the stress on her face. I crossed my arms. What are you doing here? Lisa swallowed hard. David, please. Can we just talk? I leaned against my desk. Talk about what, Lisa? How you destroyed our marriage. How you got fired. How Jake left you too? Her lips trembled. He didn't leave me. I raised an eyebrow. Oh? So why are you here begging me instead of living happily ever after with him? She flinched. Bingo. I smirked. Let me guess. Jake used you. Once you lost your job, he realized you had nothing left to offer him. Lisa's silence said everything. I laughed. Cold. Sure. Merciless. You threw away everything for a guy who never even wanted you, I said, shaking my head. And now you expect me to take you back? Tears streamed down her face. David, please. I was stupid. I cut her off. No, Lisa. You weren't stupid. You were selfish. And now, you're just desperate. She collapsed into a chair, crying into her hands. I didn't feel anything. No pity. No sympathy. Just satisfaction. This was justice. And the best part? I wasn't even done yet. Lisa sat in my office, her body shaking as she sobbed into her hands. She thought her tears would change my mind. She thought her apologies would erase what she did. She was wrong. I watched her for a moment, arms crossed, waiting for her to say something worth my time. Finally, she looked up, mascara running down her face. David, I don't know what to do. I have nowhere to go. No job. No money. I lost everything. I tilted my head. And whose fault is that? She swallowed hard. Mine, she whispered. I leaned forward. Louder. Her lips trembled. It's my fault, she repeated, her voice barely above a whisper. I smirked. Damn right it was. Lisa had betrayed me, humiliated me, and laughed behind my back. Now she was sitting in front of me, broken, lost, and completely alone. I should have felt sorry for her. but all I felt was satisfaction. "David, please?" she whispered. "I just need a place to stay until I get back on my feet." I let out a short, bitter laugh. "You think I'd let you move back in after everything you did?" I scoffed. "Lisa, I wouldn't let you sleep in my garage." She flinched as if I had slapped her. Her eyes darted around my office as if searching for something, some way to convince me. Maybe we can start over?" she tried weakly. "Try again?" I let out a slow breath, shaking my head. "Lisa," I said coldly, "you weren't crying when you were sneaking around with Jake. You weren't begging for me when you were texting him from our bed. So why the hell should I care now?" She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. "You made your bed," I said, standing up. "Now go lie in it." She choked on another sob, then slowly stood, wiping her face. I walked to my office door and held it open for her. She stared at me for a long moment as if hoping I'd change my mind. I didn't. She walked past me, her head hanging low. And just like that, Lisa was officially out of my life. Lisa wasn't the only one falling apart. Jake. He got hit even harder. After getting fired from his job, his wife took everything in the divorce. She took the house, the car, half his savings. And the best part? She sent me a thank you message. "Jake's wife, I know we don't know each other, but I just wanted to say thank you for exposing him. He ruined our marriage and now he's getting exactly what he deserves." Me, glad I could help. Jake had gone from the company golden boy to a broke loser overnight. I heard through a mutual friend that he was staying in a cheap motel, drowning his sorrows in alcohol. I could have rubbed it in his face. I could have sent him a message. But honestly, watching him crash and burn was enough. 1 month after Lisa's downfall, I was a new man. New apartment. New job promotion. New mindset. New woman. Emily and I had been seeing each other for a few weeks, and for the first time in years I felt genuinely happy. She was the opposite of Lisa, kind, honest, and real. One night as we sat on my couch watching a movie, my phone buzzed. I glanced at it. "Lisa." Emily noticed. "You gonna answer that?" I smirked. "Nope." I let the call go to voicemail, then blocked her number. Lisa was officially nothing but a bad memory. I had moved on. And she had lost everything. Game over. I should have known Lisa wouldn't go down quietly. For a month, she had been radio silent. No texts, no calls, no attempts to contact me. I thought she had finally accepted defeat. I was wrong. One evening I was getting home from the gym, feeling better than ever. My confidence was back, my life was back on track, and I was finally happy. Then as I pulled into my driveway, I saw her. Lisa. Sitting on my front porch, arms wrapped around herself, looking miserable. I sighed, shutting off the car. Here we go again. I walked up slowly, stopping a few feet away. "What do you want, Lisa?" She looked up at me, eyes puffy from crying. "David, I don't have anywhere else to go," she whispered. I clenched my jaw. "Not my problem." She let out a shaky breath. "I know I messed up. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. But please, can we just talk?" I folded my arms. "Talk about what?" "How you ruined our marriage. How you threw me away for a guy who never even wanted you." Lisa flinched. "The truth hurt, didn't it?" I just need a friend," she said weakly. I stared at her, waiting for the familiar sting of guilt. It never came. Instead, I felt absolutely nothing. "You need a friend?" I repeated, shaking my head. "Lisa, when I was married to you, I needed a wife. Instead, I got a liar. A cheater. A backstabber." Her lip trembled. "I know, but..." "No, Lisa. You don't get to butt your way out of this." I took a deep breath, stepping back. "You made your choice. Now you have to live with it." She opened her mouth, begging for one last chance. I didn't hear a word of it, because I was already walking inside, locking the door behind me. Lisa was officially nothing to me. And damn did it feel good. The next morning I grabbed my phone and smiled. It was time. I pulled up Reddit, went to my original post, and typed, "Final update, my wife went on a date with her coworker." I took swift revenge. Then I told the world everything. How I caught Lisa in the act. How I publicly exposed her affair. How she lost her job, her reputation, and her dignity. How Jake got destroyed in his divorce. How I moved on. And the best part? How I left Lisa in the past, where she belonged. I hit post. Within minutes the comments started rolling in. Bro, this was legendary. Well played. Karma came for Lisa and Jake hard. Love to see it. Glad you found happiness, man. You deserved better. I leaned back in my chair, grinning. The internet knew the truth now. Lisa was nothing more than a lesson. And me? I was finally completely free. Months passed. Lisa never tried to contact me again. Jake was nothing but a bad memory. And me? I was happier than ever. New job. New relationship. New life. One day while walking through town with Emily, I saw Lisa. She was sitting alone at a cheap cafe, staring blankly at her phone. She looked empty. Her once perfect smile? Gone. Her confident attitude? Crushed. She was miserable. And me? I didn't feel a damn thing. I wrapped an arm around Emily, kissed her cheek, and walked right past Lisa, without a second glance. Because I had already won. And Lisa? She was just a ghost of my past. The game was over. And I had won. The end. Heavy checkmark. Lisa lost everything. Heavy checkmark. Jake got destroyed. Heavy checkmark. David moved on. Heavy checkmark. Justice was served. Collision, the ultimate revenge story, fully complete. Collision.